Today I fucked up when I didn't drink water for 2 12-hour shifts and got impacted stool in a public restroom. Obligatory. This happened yesterday and my poor rectum is quite angry with me. I didn't drink any water for both of my weekend 12-hour shifts because we were crazy busy, and subsequently, and naturally, was extremely constipated for the first time since I was 6 years old. I got the urge while standing in line at the post office and ran over to the nearest chain grocery store to use their public restroom. The bathroom sign outside said advanced COVID cleaning in progress. It was empty and smelled like a recent piss was had all over the floor. There hasn't been an advanced cleaning in there since the 1990s, I'm sure of it. There were only 2 stalls with wide openings around the door for peeking out at whoever was coming in and vice versa. I hate having anyone look in, but I had no choice. Got in and locked the flimsy hatch. I was sitting there on the toilet seat just waiting and waiting, trying to position my body a little forward or back or knees up for something to just start happening, for the love of Christ, because the pressure was extreme but the opening to the fudge maker was too small. After 15 highly uncomfortable minutes of trying this with a dry gopher stuck halfway out my hole, not moving at all, like a baby that is stuck at the shoulders, I decided to say fuck it and squat on top of the seat with my feet on the toilet seat to move my pelvis into a natural and correct human poo position. Most people in other countries where standard toilets don't exist squat over a hole, which provided a more relaxed pelvic floor. Right as I get on top of the disgusting public toilet seat and can feel that something is finally painfully starting to move like an iceberg carving its way through stone, a woman walks into the restroom and we lock eyes through the wide gaps. She sees me sitting on top of the toilet with my pants down. I don't think she saw the 3.5-inch diameter hog I was expelling, but she certainly heard it since she got right next to me in the only other stall available and started to cry and pee simultaneously, talking to herself saying, "Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear." I don't think she was saying that because of what I was doing next door, but was having her own hard day or mental health crisis. I'm sure seeing me that way didn't improve whatever was happening in her head. She left first while I plopped from 10,000 feet like a nervous gargoyle, finally able to evacuate these little petrified logs. There was some blood from a bit of tearing, but that tissue is thin and sensitive, so it's no surprise. I cleaned the seat of my footprints with toilet paper and bought a half-gallon of prune juice on the way out. Too long didn't read. Today I fucked up when I tried to expel compacted feces in a public restroom, couldn't get it out, and then sat on top of the toilet seat to get better pelvic purchase, causing a distraught woman to see me do this and potentially aid in her mental breakdown. This was fucking incredible. Nervous gargoyle lol, and good for you for wiping down your shoe prints. I wish more people would do that. You should have asked her to hold your hand or help dig it out with a spoon. You've heard of the poop knife, but have you heard of the poop spoon? Exclamation mark. This was a hilarious read, but I hope you feel better soon. Holy shit, Lamau. Be careful op, you can get hemorrhoids by trying too hard to push out your poop. Today I fucked up by finding 109-year-old hair. So I'm sort of the archivist of my family. We have several large storage tubs of random loose photos, documents and albums in my parents' basement. We've ended up with a ton of this stuff because everyone is dead lol. So my dad is the only sibling living, he got all his parents' stuff. His mother was the only one of her siblings who had a basement, so she got all her parents' stuff. Likewise, my great-grandmother was the oldest of her siblings and the only one in the area when her parents died, so we have all their shit. So in total we have 4 families worth of stuff, some dating back to the late 1800s. Again, a lot of shit. So I've been the one to go through all of these boxes, scan to hard drives for the extended family, organize, throw out duplicates or photos of family members we hate, etc. It's been mostly cool, finding my grandparents' wedding album, postcards and Christmas cards from the 1910s and 1920s, World War II ration cards, and letters to my great uncle who served as a pilot in Europe during World War II. Well, I found something that makes me want to quit looking through the rest and just burn it all. At the bottom of one old box I find a sealed envelope that has something soft in it. I'm a little perplexed as to what it can be, and so I open it. I reach in and pull out a large clump of hair that, I soon after found belonged to my great-grandmother and was from 1912. Of course, pulling out a sizable amount, enough to fill a standard-sized envelope, of human hair freaked me out. Here is where the true FU happened. So it being winter, we have the heat on in the house, which is fine for everyone else, but I'm always hot, so I have a fan on next to me as I'm doing all of this to keep me cool. The problem this created was I, in my instant revulsion, threw the hair away from me and screamed in horror. Well, the fan blew the hair back, and as it broke up into the breeze, a sizable chunk went straight into my mouth. Started to choke on the hair, and a combination of disgust and the texture/taste of 109-year-old hair in my mouth almost caused me to throw up. Luckily I didn't, but I did spend the next 20 minutes hacking up 109-year-old hair from a dead woman and brushing my assumedly now haunted teeth and flossing it out. I can feel some of it deep in my throat. I know that means sometime down the line I will be shitting out 109-year-old hair from a dead woman. If the afterlife exists, what must this woman be thinking? Is she mad at me? Is she horrified I'm going to be shitting her out? Is her mother horrified that this loving tribute to her little girl was sullied by this? Are any of them going to come back and haunt me? Anyways, I'm glad this is a tradition that my family stopped doing. At least I hope to God there is no more of it, because I can't handle this shit anymore. Too long didn't read. I opened an envelope containing 109-year-old hair of my long dead great-grandmother and ingested God knows how much of it. Not weird at all. I had a calligraphy pen made for my daughter from hair from her grandmother on one side and both of my parents. Maybe I'm weird. Better than just loose hair. Hopefully she's somewhere laughing her ass off at you, smiley face. I hope so. It really does beg the question why they had an envelope of hair like that. Maybe there was some sort of 1912 meme where people learned hair doesn't rot like most body parts, and keeping that as a time capsule was the style at the time. My guess is that your great-grandmother's a lich, and that was their phylactery. Hair's unassuming, so hunters aren't going to think to burn it, destroying her connection to the physical world. Or maybe it's something else. I dunno. It was a semi-common old-time thing to keep a lock of someone's hair. This was a lot though. I've seen a lot of World War II movies where a soldier's girlfriend sends a lock of hair to remember them or whatnot. They even mention it in Patton where they cut a lock of a dead soldier's hair to send home. So a weird keepsake, but almost like a time capsule. My mother has locks of my hair somewhere, so I just told her this story and she is laughing so hard she is crying. She said she hopes something like that happens to my descendants. What an evil woman. Smiley face. I put what remained back in the box so someday my grandkid can say 200-year-old hair from a dead woman like I did. Today I fucked up by going into Joann Fabrics really high. Today I fucked up because I went into Joann Fabrics really high and had to use the bathroom. The front lady asked me if I needed any help. I initially declined but then asked where the bathroom was. I really had to go all of a sudden, so I power walked to where I was directed and pushed open the door. I walk in and something feels off. No urinal. Typically this is where I go. I have made a mistake. Hi, me thought, wow, how interesting. 2 stalls makes sense. A urinal has 1 use and a toilet has 2. Quite the thinkers here. I sold myself and walked into the one open stall. After peeing in the toilet and flushing, I walked out to wash my hands and came face to face with an employee. I almost ran into her as we exited the stalls. I'm sure her sober brain realized the situation we were in way before I did. It took me a good 10 seconds. Not long really, but about -2 minutes later than it should have. She didn't say anything. Once I realized I used the wrong bathroom, didn't I? Does the go outside the I won't say anything if you don't, is all she said and walked out. Yes, we made eye contact multiple times in the store because I was too high feel awkward at all for some reason. Too long didn't read. Went to use the bathroom at a store whilst high and used the socially wrong bathroom and was surprised by someone in there upon my exit. You simply chose to be female for 10 minutes. Maybe you identify as female when high/s. I am pretty in tune with my feminine side when I am high. Low-key, you may have opened my eyes to this. I, too, have gone to Joan really high. Thought it would be kind of fun to experience all the textures and colors, and it was, but I started getting really paranoid as I got to the checkout. All I specifically remember was the woman ahead of me trying to give me her leftover coupons and totally panicking and wishing she would just leave me alone. Punctuation for a quote goes inside the quotation marks, so you had it right. I work at Joan, and if it makes you feel better, I was sending anyone who asked me where the bathroom was, to the one I knew about because I wasn't aware that we had two. It's just a room with a toilet and a lock on the door, so I figured it was a first come first serve type of deal. And we're a smaller store, so for whatever reason it made sense to me that we only had one bathroom. Worked there for about a month before I realized we had two bathrooms and I'm sober. Just dumb smile. It has happened to me a couple times. Yes, I was high as well. I always double check now.